and welcome to another episode of AutoSave. My name is Camille Salazar-Hadaway, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Nick Andrade. Hello.
Cam, how's it going? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while. How's life going? How's work? How's everything?
I mean, life is good. Work is good. I have a new place now. I moved into a new place.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How is it?
It's full of boxes. I don't know why. I know why I put them there. I just haven't unpacked. I moved in, but I haven't unpacked, so it's very chaotic. It's very much stepping over boxes, hoping I don't fall or break something.
Do you have a couch set up, or do you just have like your bed, no bed frame, a chair, and a TV? Is that all you have, or is like everything set up nice?
Borderline between the two. So I have the couch, but it's still in the plastic wrap in the middle of the living room, not set up. So you can't actually sit on it because it's on its side. But I do have the bed, but we went the extra mile and actually set up the bed frame.
Oh, hell yeah.
And there is a random chair in a room. We don't, we just put it there.
Because I always figure like you see like those gamer rooms when like people and all they have is one TV, a chair, their like console / PC, and then a bed and no bed frame. So I always find it funny when I see those. But it's like for a dude, like that's living the life, in my opinion. That's all you need.
It is.
All you need.
That's all you need. That's all you need. It's also interesting because we moved into an older home. So we're discovering things that we didn't discover when we bought the place. Like there's a random on the closet. I'll tilt the camera. There's random cats on the closet in the office space. Like a lot of cats.
I could have thought that maybe you put that there because, again, they're all like, you know, pretty cute kitties over there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was the kids' room before, and now it's my office, and I don't know if I'm going to take it down, so we'll have to decide. Maybe I'll tweet it. And
I like it.
Have
I like
else
it.
On that's listening decide. But there's no cats here, at least not yet, because we are continuing our dive into God of War 2018 for PS4. On last week's episode...
Who was he? He knew me. Did he know my past? How did they find me after all this time? Faye, what do I do? Our son is not ready to carry your ashes to the top of the mountain. And neither am I. I do not know how to do this without you.
I just realized we pick a lot of brooding characters, from Cloud to Kratos. This is autosave.
But is it we pick brooding characters, or is it that a lot of these main characters and main protagonists are like emo / brooding?
Maybe, yeah.
Like how many?
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe we need more like high spirited. Although Atreus is pretty nice. He's a cool cat. He's a cool kid.
Yeah,
Oh, you don't like him. You think he's bratty.
He's kind of bratty, but we'll get into it. So last we left off, we tried to pick up the pieces as to why Kratos is alive. He's in a different realm. He has a dead wife and son who's not so dead on top of his previous dead family. And
Seems like it follows him around. He just has a bunch of dead family members, basically.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, is he?
Maybe you're the problem.
No?
Maybe you're the problem.
Kratos is the problem. Kratos, you're the problem. An all-powerful being who was pretty much sent by Odin to kill Kratos. So he's finding himself in hot water very early on in the game. And there's lots of mystery surrounding this game, but a good first chapter, I feel like, to entice the audience to continue. So on today's episode, we're covering chapter 2, Path to the Mountain, and 3, A Realm Beyond. Where we left off, Kratos and Atreus was leaving their home because obviously it's no longer safe. Odin knows where they live and apparently is sending killers with superpowers after
Killers who look like Atreus, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
Who's the father? We need Maury. Question of the day. Even though Kratos pretty much wiped out all the Greek gods in Olympus, who would you say is your favorite Greek god and why?
Are we allowed to like use like Hercules cartoon characters? Because if that's the case, I'd pick Hades from the Hercules series, the Disney Hercules series, which is great. However, I also want to throw out there used to be a show or two shows called Hercules and Xena Warrior Princess. And there was a bunch of gods there, especially Ares, who, I don't know if you remember. Again, it's a real throwback, but he was a good looking dude, but he was really funny and he played well against Xena. And I remember that dynamic. So I'm going to pick Ares and Hades from Hercules. Realistically, I did take a Greek mythology class in university. It's real. Like there's a lot going on. There's titans and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Maybe Persephone because she ate a pomegranate. I love pomegranates, but she ended up in the world of the dead because she ate the pomegranate. But I would have probably done that too because love pomegranates during Christmas time.
You can't world of the dead or pomegranates. I mean, but wasn't Persephone also married off and she didn't want to be married off or something like that? So
I think so. But Zeus also has like 8 million children, right?
That is true. I mean, I would say Zeus if he wasn't such a jerk. So instead, I would say Athena.
Okay, cool. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Well, right after the break, we'll have to see if we'll see any of our favorite gods as we continue our journey in God of War.
You've had to kill people before, haven't you? You're used to it.
We do what we must to survive.
Animals, I get. They're food. Draugr, they're supposed to be dead. But people, they're trying to survive too.
Close your heart to it. On our journey, we will be attacked by all manner of creature. Close your heart to their desperation. Close your heart to their suffering. Do not allow yourself to feel for them. They will not feel for you.
And apparently Kratos is closing his heart off to Atreus for most of this beginning of the game. But we know why, because you close your heart off to everyone. As we start our journey to the mountain, Atreus tells Kratos that killing people is wrong. Maybe a little hypocritical. Kratos fires back with some advice about doing what's best for yourself and closing people off. And is he wrong or right to kind of give Atreus? Remember, Atreus is a young boy. Yes, in this Norse realm where it is very, threatening. But is he right to give this advice to him?
I think he's right because of the circumstance. Like if this was Kratos Atreus in 2022, where there's real no need for, survival of the fittest, then that makes sense to not say something like that. But I agree with him in this situation because although, I think Kratos is on the extreme side of like not trusting people or, stuff happening to him. So I think he is jaded a little bit, which gives him this kind of advice. However, he's not wrong. So I think he needs to toughen up Atreus because he knows that this journey is going to be long. He knows that now there are people coming after them. So he needs Atreus to be like, he knows that bad things are afoot or bad things are going to happen. So he needs to prepare Atreus for the worst possible things that might happen.
So is this a good parenting moment? Does Kratos get a point in the column where we're keeping track of Kratos and Atreus, good parent or a bad parent, good son or a bad son? Tally, where does this land?
So again, I made the final call on last episode because I hosted. You host this one. So you get the final call. I'm going to say good parent. You decide, though, if it's a good parent or a bad parent.
I'll go with you. Good parent. Good parent. Good father. moment here, Kratos. I'm proud of you. Now, throughout this mission, Kratos is constantly giving advice to Atreus on how to act, basically not to trust anyone. And as we climb...
Look. All this time, there's been a protection stave around our entire woods. But the stave's broken there. Did you cut those down?
She had marked the tree she wished used for her pyre.
Why'd she do that?
Come. No looking back now.
So they had protection around their woods? Like, what kind of sorcery is this?
I'm starting to like question what exactly everything is here. There's just so much. I don't know. It's shrouded again. Great video game, shrouded in mystery. But who was Faye? I'm trying to get to the bottom of exactly who Faye was, especially her relationship with Kratos. But now I know that they had protection in the woods. You know, was she an all-powerful being? Did Kratos create this either? What exactly? Like, it seems like also Kratos is doing things based on the instructions of Faye. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that confuses me even more.
Yeah, a good mothering if Faye gave these instructions because Faye's just like, Kratos, I mean, your track record, just follow
Not
my
great.
lead. But yeah, it seems like there's a lot of mystery around Faye as well, and powers maybe, I don't know. Kratos mentions that the trees that he cut down were specifically marked, and you know, we really I don't know. We don't know, but it is making me want to continue and go forward. And Atreus actually can read the language we see throughout and marked on the stones because his mother kind of taught him, but Kratos can't. And I think it's also because Kratos is from Greek mythology, right?
He is, but how long has he been there?
I don't know, Nick.
He's an old man now.
I know, but it's really hard, okay, to pick up languages. Trust me, I went to elementary school from grade 1 to 8 or 2 to 3 or 2 to 8. We were learning
2 to
French.
3? Wait,
Yeah,
what
it was like 2 to
elementary
3,
school
which
did
is
you
like-
go to?
And then I graduated and ended up in high school.
You weren't good at French, were you?
I was actually really good speaking French. Reading French was good.
Really?
Writing French, not great. Not great.
I wasn't good at any of them, and I almost failed grade 9 French. Yeah, not good.
Ooh.
Not good.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, languages are hard, so I completely understand where Kratos is coming from right now, okay? As we move closer to the mountain, Atreus gets a little too hasty and tries to cross this rickety bridge, which, I mean, that's a red flag right there, so you know what that means.
There's the mountain! Let's go!
Not yet.
It's fine! See? Ah! Father, help!
Hang on!
Hurry! I'm slipping!
Stay calm. Almost there.
That wasn't so bad.
Slow down. Your haste will cost us.
Sorry. More Draugr. But these aren't moving. Are they dead? I mean, more dead?
Boy.
Not dead, not dead!
Bad sun points. One point for a bad
One
sun.
bad sun point?
Atreus
Yeah.
here. Yes, because, okay, obviously Atreus was a little too hasty. They both fall into a swarm of enemies, and you hear the frustration in Kratos' voice. Boy.
What is with, every media? Like, there's always something, like in a movie or a TV show or in a video game, where there's a rickety bridge, and you gotta cross it, and you fall. In this case, Atreus was super confident that he'd get through, and that wasn't the case.
And the thing is, this is why he gets the bad points. He just almost cost them their hunt, because he couldn't do it. All right. Like he had 2 real bad moments. And then he just goes and he's like, let's go. And then after, he's just like, oh yeah, sorry. Oh, let's go, blah, 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 blah. Like continues on as though nothing happened and they both couldn't have died from that fall. Anyways, the swarm of enemies, they're frozen, but they come to life. I mean, like Nick said, you never run across a rickety bridge. And when you see enemies that are frozen, always beware because they're probably just going to reach out and grab you. Now, it is a giant horde of enemies to get through, both on the ground and up in the air. And after that, we see more writing. And Atreus tells us this place used to be a marketplace where the giants used to trade with the gods. We then hear footsteps. Stronger enemies come through. And after that, we hear some really creepy singing.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm probably the better singer from this creepy singing voice we hear.
It's
Nick. I'm looking for confirmation on this. Nick?
I don't know why, but when I heard the voice of this, like, I think it's a creature. It's obviously an enemy, but this creepy voice sounded a lot like your singing voice.
That is horrible. Oh my
so
gosh.
I instantly thought of you as I was
playing through. Thanks.
Playing through in this voice.
Thanks, Nick.
It kind of sounded like it. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not saying that you don't have an angelic voice. Okay, you do.
Does this voice you're describing as creepy have an angelic voice?
No,
that's what I want to know,
doesn't.
because it seems like you're kind of trying to find your words. You're fumbling.
No,
Nick.
what I'm saying is that this enemy has the worst version of your singing, but you have the best version of your singing, right? But this is like you, if like maybe you've had a couple drinks, you head up on the karaoke machine, you're having a good time, but you're not really paying attention to your angelic voice, and it slips up a little bit. This is how I think it would transpire. I hope I'm saving face here as I walk through it.
So to that, I will say Nick's a liar, because he's never heard me sing karaoke drunk. So these are lies. I'm calling him out right here. I'm going to digest this betrayal.
What's your go-to song, by the way?
Don't Speak is my go-to song.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
But don't try to be my friend right now. I'm digesting that betrayal.
Am I good kid or bad kid? Which one am I?
Yeah, Nick gets aboard too, all right? Bad Nick. Now, after we find actual humans who say we don't have to be turned into hellwalkers, which I'm guessing those are the frozen enemies that were in that swamp, as we're getting through them...
Father, help me!
Atreus! Boy? Close your heart to it. Come then. We have a long journey. Wait here. I will handle this.
Now, Kratos kind of has his hands full. Atreus, he kills someone. And this is his first kill, his first human, after he just said that he doesn't think humans should be killed, right? Like, he literally had to go against his word to kind of survive. And he's having a rough time with that. And I think that kind of shows like the friction that he has with his father as well, because as you heard there, Kratos is saying just close your heart to it, or close your mind to it. But for Atreus, like as a kid, taking in so much and learning from everything he's taking in, like it's very hard for him to do that. And it may seem like Kratos just doesn't understand because Kratos has been closing off his heart for so long.
I think Atreus too, like whatever his mom taught him, like I think he does have a soft heart, which Kratos is kind of trying to harden. But Kratos tried to teach him well while trying to kill animals, which is something that I think that he would learn from. But this human or whoever it was tried to just kill him, and he basically just had to stab him in the face. So I'm sure this is going to warp Atreus in some way, and especially he's going to question his feelings after saying, well, I don't want humans to die, but now I just killed someone. How do I feel and how do I process this?
For Kratos and how Kratos is and how we know Kratos to be the warrior. And I feel like this is a good parenting moment for Kratos because he's trying to help his son cope the best way he knows how. And he's doing it in a very like soft and approachable tone that isn't like disappointment. It doesn't sound like disappointment in his son. So good parenting for Kratos.
I think he is trying to, like, this is something like maybe it's old age, whatever it is. I can see Kratos, he's like holding back some of his frustration sometimes. You see him take deep breaths. You see him try to, answer properly and not have his frustration get the best of him. So that's all you can ask for, especially with the past that he's been through. He could be jaded for life, but he's kind of trying to teach Atreus while being sometimes harsh. He's trying to like maybe teach him to not be like himself early on. At least that's what I think.
Now, the guys that we just killed,
the Nightwalkers,
or that they just killed. Yeah, I was just about to say the Nightwalkers. I have no idea but to describe them as Nightwalkers because it's
they
like
literally
it seems
look like them.
You kill them, they become frozen blue Nightwalker people, and then that's just the circle of the Nightwalkers.
Yeah,
life.
But it almost seems like a carbon copy of the Game of Thrones characters.
But
so I was very confused.
Was Game of Thrones before this or after?
I think it was. Well, the series came out in 2011, and I'm sure we saw.
Oh my gosh, it's been that long.
It has, and I'm pretty sure we saw Nightwalkers before then. Not saying that they ripped them off, but I'm just saying that they're.
But saying they might have ripped them off. Now onward, and we meet a blue man, Brock, whose animal is stuck on a bridge because it's scared of something in the trees. Another warning, something alarming is going to happen ahead, which we have to scare away ourselves so the beast can keep moving across the bridge. Now, Brock says that the axe we have, him and his brother actually made, and that we should upgrade it, which leads him to opening up his shop. And this is finally somewhere where we could upgrade our weapons, armors, Atreus' stuff, and a bunch of other things. What did you do here first?
Could care less about Atreus' armor/bow. So
you're like,
yeah, I don't need that right now. What I need to bulk up Kratos. I need to get him some armor, and I need to get some nice axe upgrades. That's what I did right away. What about you?
Bad parenting, Nick, right there. Don't even care about protecting your son.
He's got woolly clothes. He looks comfortable. I just, all there was like clothes that changed colors. That's it. Like, whatever.
Okay, fine, fair. I think I just did my armor. Usually when you have that first opportunity to upgrade your stuff, I like to save it. Because this is what games try to do. Yes, because this is what games try to do. Your first opportunity, you get the shop to upgrade everything. You don't know what these points like really, like how the allocation works throughout the game. You don't know how much you need to upgrade something really, really cool that may just be around the corner. So I try to save up early. I save up early so then I could get the cool stuff later.
But how do you know that there's going to be cooler stuff later?
You don't. This is the game that I gamble with, okay?
I'm already like the fighting and the gameplay is kind of tough. Like it's not easy. It's not like super walkthrough. So for me, I thought, let me gear up now because I don't want to die all the time. That was my thought.
Okay.
As well.
Well, did you die because there's actually, with your new gear on, there's actually some enemies right away. I hope you didn't die off the bat with them.
There's
your
enemies
upgrades
all the
worked.
time, Cam.
There is. And you should be happy with this.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I don't know. The game's pretty good so far. There's a
Okay,
good
all
amount
right.
of enemies and a good amount of cutscene so far. That's what I'm
Okay.
feeling.
All right. Well, Nick's feeling that, and we continue through to the mountain through a really weird tunnel. It looks like there's lots of puzzles to complete here. You have to get through a spiked door, a bridge. I mean, wait, you don't do well with puzzles because, like, I'm the Zelda master. I love puzzles. You don't do well with puzzles. So how'd you do here?
I had to look it up online a couple times.
No, Nick, we're all waiting.
No.
Nick.
I don't know. Listen, I don't remember if it was at this point specifically, but there are definitely difficult like chests and like puzzles to do that I do have trouble with. But I'll tell you this. Wait. Before you judge me,
I already judged you. Yeah, go ahead.
I try really hard to not look online because I am a habitual online looker. Okay,
You are.
when I get into a tough spot, after a few tries, I'm like, okay, I don't know where I'm going. Let me check it out. This game specifically, I tried my best to not look up anything and to continue to try to do it myself, like a real human, not using cheats, until I was at my wit's end and I couldn't figure it out. There's a lot of Nornir chests that I couldn't figure out that I had to because I spent like 20, 30 minutes on it. I'm like, okay, that's enough. Enough is enough. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I did do these myself. I can't remember which I did in this specific scenario, but I'm pretty sure I didn't look anything up. But I don't know because I did look things up, is what I'm saying. I admit it. And then that's the first
You never
step,
trust
okay?
someone's if they're like, I'm pretty sure I never looked anything up, but I didn't look things up. Like split personalities. But Nick, I'm curious because like I could completely understand if you give it a try because it just seems like you're always just like I looked it up, like that's your just first to go.
No.
Like what is a few tries? Like how many minutes are you spending on a puzzle before you're like, you know what, I gotta look this up?
What I'm saying, so maybe I don't know. I'm not looking at the clock when I'm doing these things, but
Maybe
I know that it is
3 attempts, 4 attempts.
No, it's at least like 10 attempts. It's to a point where I am frustrated with it. That's all.
Okay.
Then there are certain
All right.
games like
I'll give you that.
Uncharted where like puzzles are like easy and I can do it by myself, but sometimes the puzzles are hard. Zelda, there are a lot of games throughout my childhood. I remember I did play some of the Game Boy games or whatever, and then I would quit because they would just be too tough for me. But, then we played Skyward Sword and I felt better about myself. And maybe I'm just growing as a human that I can do puzzles a lot better now.
Maybe you are. Each of us have our own specialties, and puzzles is just not yours. That's fine. Nothing's wrong with that. I'm just giving you a hard time. So, like we said, there's lots of puzzles here that you have to kind of figure out to get through, or you gotta look online and figure it out like Nick did.
No, don't do that. Don't tell the
okay.
audience to do that. Young, impressionable kids listening to this.
There's also wooden panels that you have to kind of spin in order to lift doors. It's like a levy system. When they're going through this, they have these moments where they talk about Faye, and it's always so sad. Like they really, you're getting that feeling that they really have suffered a huge loss. Like I know it's Atreus' mother, Kratos' wife, but like you're really getting a sense of how impactful she was to this family.
There's also a weird dynamic too. Like I'm trying to figure this out, and they mention it throughout all these chapters. Is like Kratos was somehow always away, and Atreus spent most of the time with Faye. But Kratos loved Faye. It seemed like he really, really loved her. So I'm just confused, and I'm really interested in finding more about her and about their relationship because I don't really understand why Kratos has been gone, but not really, but also has such a strong relationship with this woman.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like he might have been gone like a lot in this time, this realm. A lot of the hunters were the husbands, and they would go out for like seasons on end to like hunt and like voyage and everything like that. So that's what I'm thinking, but we don't know for sure. What we do know is that Nick doesn't love puzzles. And unfortunately for him, we approach a puzzle where it says, "What I alone can never be." And we have to solve this. It's a statue, and we have to kind of find the answer to it. Nick, did you look this up?
No, this was super easy. Come on.
Okay. I'm just...
Because this is like, you spin the wheel, right? And then there's those frozen shield things. I don't know exactly what they are, but you hit them with your Leviathan axe.
Like gears.
Yeah, and then they stop, and then you map it out. Easy peas, okay?
Easy peasy.
I don't like this tone that you're using with me in this episode, okay?
Well, I don't like, Nick, how you called me out on my singing, okay? I don't like that. Now, if you couldn't have guessed it, what I alone can never be, Vin Diesel guessed it right. The answer is family, which gets us through.
It's all about... Imagine like Kratos starts slowly wiping off all his makeup, and then it's actually Dom Toretto, and he's like, "It's all about family, Atreus."
So not even Vin Diesel, Don.
Yes, it's the actual character. Yeah,
the character from Fast and Furious. I love it. Now, as we find an exit, we're met by another giant troll similar to the one in the last chapter, and this one instead just sprays hot lava at us because that's what some trolls do, apparently.
Liquid magma.
Oh, magma.
Because lava, I know there's, all the scientists out there listening to us might get mad at us.
Yes, you're right.
Hot magma. Sorry. Awesome powers.
Magma. Now, to beat him, Atreus, we have to beat him. And once we do that, Atreus then finds a wild boar that he wants to practice hunting with. Because, while things are like throwing hot magma at you and you're running away for dear life, why not just stop and enjoy the day and hunt? And it proves to be a difficult task as he has to shoot this boar multiple times. Now, as he gets on the chase for this boar, we lose him in the fog.
We didn't know he belonged to anyone.
He doesn't. He's my friend.
The boy was following my command.
Then help fix this. Hold here, please. Hold, I said. He's losing blood. The last of his kind in all the realm, and you shoot him. You needed food?
Target practice.
Target practice.
I'm so sorry.
Keep that pressure on. The blame is mine. I should have kept a closer eye.
Will he die?
I will not let him. You, the arrow cut a tideway inside him. Find both ends and hold them tightly. Start with the left side. Grab it and hold. Now the right side. Hold it tight. Good. Now pull them together. Line them up. So now,
You're a witch.
I can't finish the healing here. My home is just beyond the trees there. You will carry him. He must not die. Good. He seems stable and calm for now. This way.
So we end up meeting a witch in the woods, and she is pissed. She's pissed at us because we apparently, and when I mean Atreus, bad son, apparently shot the magical boar that is the last of its kind. What?
How are we supposed to know that, though? How are they supposed to know that?
It looked pretty magical. I haven't seen any boar in the game so far that looks like that.
They also met the deer that they shot, too.
The deer didn't have magical,
it
had
blue antlers.
That's blue antlers. This is like golden. You never shoot anything that's golden.
I would think both would be magical.
Now, anyways, she wants us to help mend this boar back to health. And I guess she's protecting over the animals in this area as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we could tell that Kratos, like me, is pretty skeptical and doesn't really trust her. I mean, I erase it. I don't really trust her. Nick, would you trust her at this point?
No. Who the heck is she? She's a witch. I still don't. I'll mention this later, but I gotta ask you a question about her. But yeah, I don't trust her. I don't trust her
because it seems like she also knows a little bit about Kratos being an outsider.
Oh yeah.
Like what? Who is she? How does she know?
She's a witch. She has powers.
Yeah, exactly. She has powers. Now, as we kind of help her find this magical flower, we actually open a door and it takes us to a beautiful magical realm with lots of beautiful trees. Everything's shiny, everything's colorful. And Atreus tells her too much about his dead mom and a lot of other things that is really pissing Kratos off at this point, because you close your heart off to everyone and everything. You do not share, as Kratos, believes in his way of life.
Who's this witch, by the way? Like Atreus is just spilling out his guts to her, and Kratos is like, "Come on, dude, you can't tell her. We have no idea who she is, and she seems a little bit sus." So
she's a little sus. And you know what? Like, usually I'd be like, Kratos, you could be a little bit friendly. But given the fact this is like everything's been trying to kill us at this point, I am on board with this thought process. You don't reveal too much about yourself until you really know the person.
And she also takes us to like, we're in this snowy, cold area. She takes us to like the jungle, where the hell she lives. And it's really beautiful, but
it does not seem right. Now, she lives in a giant tree that also happens to be a turtle. And all the other animals in this area, like Nick mentioned, are pretty colorful and cool. All probably last of its kind. Now, as she tells Atreus to pick some healing flowers for the boar, she confronts Kratos like I mentioned.
I know you're a god. Not of this realm, but there's no mistaking it. He doesn't know, does he? About your true nature, or his own.
That is none of your concern.
The gods of these realms don't take kindly to outsiders, trust me. I know. When they find you, and they will, they'll make things difficult. The boy will want answers.
That will be my problem.
Whatever you're hiding, you cannot protect him forever. But you're right. Doesn't concern me.
So this really explains why this mysterious guy from the first chapter came after Kratos. We find out that, the gods of this realm know that Kratos is here as an outsider and is a god from Greek mythology. How does the witch know this, though? How does the witch know this and just stumbles across Kratos and Atreus? Ain't it sketch?
This is why I don't trust her at all, because she knows a lot of information. She knows Kratos is a god. How? I don't know. Obviously with her witch powers, I guess. But it just seems a little too convenient that she shows up. She knows a lot of things. Is she the one who planted the boar for them to hunt? Is it wrong for me to not trust her at this moment?
No, because I feel like a lot of fairy tales as well, usually when the witch stumbles across you in any fairy tale, Snow White, whatever, they often do know a little bit too much and they have a solution for you. Also,
she hasn't said what her name is, right?
No.
So we're just going by the witch.
Yes.
Already sus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At least say I am Kuafreya, the witch. That's the Norse name I came up with. Kuafreya.
Good job.
Thank you.
Now, the only thing I will agree with this witch about is that she's giving some good advice to Kratos, because she says, whatever you're hiding from Atreus, you cannot hide from him forever. And I don't know if she knows what Kratos is hiding, but I thought he was hiding the fact that he's a god, but maybe he's hiding something else.
Yeah, but it seems like everyone's hiding everything from everyone at this point. We don't know much about the witch.
They're just hiding.
And then Kratos is obviously, Kratos has a reason to hide his past. You know what I mean? He literally took down all of Greek mythology. So he would obviously want to hide and not, give away who he is. And I think he's just trying to live a normal life at this point, right? I don't think he even wants to be on this journey.
I feel like Kratos, though, is not in the mindset that he could hide who he is from Atreus forever. He just thinks it's not the right time because he's being hunted right now.
And he thinks that Atreus is probably too young too, right?
Yes. And maybe that's what he's waiting for, like to show that Atreus is ready to like fend for himself to then reveal this news of who Kratos is. But classic fairy tale witch wants to help us. She puts a mark on them that will make it hard for the gods to see them in the realm and to find them. So, I mean, Kratos, although he's saying he doesn't trust her or like not telling Atreus not to trust her, he's kind of trusting her. And is this right of him to do this?
I don't know. I don't trust this witch, Cam. I'm thinking that she's trying to gain their trust. Maybe that's me. Like, I don't know. I think in real life, I trust people pretty easily. And if this witch was trying to help me, I maybe would trust her. But it makes me uneasy that she just happened to stumble upon them. She knows too much information about Kratos. And now is she just trying to help them to gain their trust because she wants something from them? Or is she actually legitimately a good person? And we start finding out as we keep going. Like, we'll find out more information of her, which makes me more skeptical. But we'll talk about that later.
So at this point, she also gives Atreus and Kratos a secret path out of her place. And Atreus really likes her. Another flag that maybe we shouldn't trust her. And we use a boat to kind of get to the next area. Now, there's lots of items here, but I don't think you could really get too much off the top because it's like you have to check back later to gain access to certain points and all that stuff. Now, we see in the water, there's another statue similar to what we saw before, which means another riddle. So we throw our Leviathan axe at it into the water and it unlocks a giant serpent. A giant serpent comes out of the water and it doesn't attack us, but the water lowers and we see a giant bridge under the surface that we could unlock now. Like,
lot
I mean,
happened there.
What? I mean, the serpent's just chilling. Just like,
Yes.
Hey, I've been here. Just chilling.
So again, Cam, let's just say let's reel it all in here. So the witch takes us to this secret passage that leads us to a lake that we find these statues that unlocks this serpent that ends up lowering the sea levels to unlock a bridge. You know what I'm saying?
Sketch. It's really, really.
The witch, I feel like, is sending them on like sending them to do a task without them realizing.
Yeah. Like she's probably roping us all on a like little mission of her own. I don't trust it. Now, it's a really long path to get to the mountain. And Atreus says that the serpent is one of the giants.
What's a giant, though? Like, it's a snake.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's a giant snake.
I would think a giant would just be like,
a person?
10,
Like
20 foot tall thing. That's it.
Well, I mean, it's a giant serpent, Nick.
Yeah, I get it, but I didn't think giants would be serpents, is what I'm saying. I think they would just be
giants
like
must have
humanoids.
animals like in their giant worlds. That's what video games taught me.
They're just living in a giant world.
At this point is when we set foot on the Golden Bridge, and we somehow find Brock again, who is here. How did Brock get here, firstly?
I don't know. There's this weird... Actually, we'll get into it. But I don't trust this dwarf, to be honest.
I trust Brock. I do trust Brock. But then again, how did Brock get here? I don't know. Now, after this place just came out of the water, Brock is here. Maybe sketch, but I trust him. And next, we have to do.
Wait! Whoa, hold up!
Did I miss something?
Did you upgrade your weapons here, or did you still wait?
I did. I did upgrade.
And was it worth the wait?
No, not really. But at least I have peace
go.
of mind that my upgrading points did not go to waste. As we continue on, we have to deal with poison pods that we have to destroy with our axe in order to move forward and to get to the foothills and meet another dwarf, this time who's not blue.
Another dwarf. Should we...
No. He is of no consequence.
Excuse me, but, how did you come by that, axe?
That is my concern alone.
And, while I won't dispute that, I know that blade. It was one of ours, but, we didn't make it for you.
Step aside.
I can't. See, the woman we made it for, I am quite fond of her, and I would be somewhat displeased if it turns out that you did something to her.
It was my mother's. She left its father before she died.
Faye's dead? I'm very, very sorry to hear that. She was a fierce warrior. And a good woman. Okay. I will make improvements to the axe.
But nobody asked you to.
Well, it's true, but knowing your mother, she would have insisted I repair that act of vandalism perpetrated against her axe by my brother.
I knew it. You are Brock's brother. The other half of the brand's here.
Do not undo his work. Improve upon it only.
I love that we found Brock's brother, who gives us
Sindri.
Sindri, who gives us valuable information. Now we learn a lot here. We learned that Faye was a warrior, that these dwarfs see Faye as a really good woman. That tells us a lot, and that they made this axe for Faye, and they're really protective of Faye as well, which is interesting. But who was Faye? I mean, was she a god? How does everyone know her?
Do you want me to tell you my theory so far?
Yes, I love the Nick theories.
We both kind of know what happens in this game, but I know at this point while I was playing what my thought was. Faye's a god, Kratos is a god, Atreus is a god, but no one is telling Atreus yet because he probably has some secret powers that he has to unlock, and Kratos doesn't trust him properly. That's my theory. However, I'm interested about these dwarves because they're brothers, but they don't like each other, and they keep showing up everywhere. How do they show up so often everywhere? Are they time travelers? That's my other theory.
Maybe it's dwarf power we don't know about. I will say if Atreus is a god, maybe his power is to be annoying. I would believe that then.
I knew exactly what you were going to say.
So Kratos agrees to let Sindri upgrade the axe, as well as just make sure that, he doesn't undo anything that Brock has done. He just wants to make the axe better. And then, pretty much he just says that his talent, there's this competition between Brock and Sindri that I guess they're trying to figure out. Sindri's saying that his talents are better than his brother. So I feel like we're going to see a lot of the two of them and they're bickering. Maybe hopefully we'll get a meeting point amongst the two. I think that would be really funny because he is funny. My favorite part of this is Sindri when he's like, is that dry blood? Oh.
It's also cool too that it's been very dark and brooding so far in this game, and the brothers add some sort of comedy to it.
Yes, of course. Now on the way, there's more poison on the way, and puzzles and chests until we run into another big fight that's actually quite tricky. It's an ogre, and he has an unblockable charge attack and powerful swings and slams that stagger you. You could ride the ogre to kill it, and it detonates these urns, and that's kind of what you have to do to kill the ogre. So how did you find this? Did you have a hard time here? Did you die a few times?
No, I didn't die a few times. Thanks, Cam. These are
I'm
not
just
super
checking.
boss battles. I'm still waiting for the God of War giant boss battles.
Okay.
With the giant things. I really hope we see one of them. These are just little sprinkles so far.
Okay, fair. Then after that, finally, what feels like forever to get to the mountain base,
We must find another way up.
The witch! Wish she was here. Bet she could get us past this.
My magic is useless against the Black Breath, and there's no way around it. Odin saw to that long ago.
What are you doing here?
Making sure you can finish your journey.
Why wait to warn us?
I was busy, saving my friend, if you remember. The Black Breath is a corruption of magic even I can't dispel. Only the pure light of Alfheim is strong enough to break through. But that road is long. What does this goal mean to you?
It's everything.
Follow me.
Why help us?
Maybe I see more of myself in you than I'm willing to admit. Maybe by helping you, I'll make up for a lifetime of mistakes. Or maybe I just like you.
Even though we shot your friend?
Even though you shot my friend, yes.
Where must we go?
To a realm beyond your own.
And the witch is back.
You think so?
The witch is back. It's so weird. You know, as we climb up, we have this weird black smoke that's kind of stopping our way. You can't get across it or find another way across. And then bam! Who appears? This witch. We still don't know who she is.
First of all, it's testing my patience having to climb so far and fight so many enemies to get to this mountain, and there's a black smog that's preventing us to go through. And then on top of that, Atreus talks about the witch, and then she just appears. And then she's giving us this whole song and dance, how she sees herself in them. I call BS. I feel like she needs something from us, and she's trying to get it from us. That's my worry, is it almost seems like we're doing her bidding.
And I think we may be doing her bidding. It seems like we might have made a contract with her as well. Like how she's just like, what does this journey mean to you or whatever?
Right,
and you're like,
right.
Our words of like agreeing to do this with her may come back to bite us a little bit. And that kind of leads us to chapter 3, A Realm Beyond. Now, after the break, we're going to come back and dive into chapter 3. Now, chapter 3, A Realm Beyond, here we are, and it's comparatively a much smaller chapter than chapter 2, potentially because the witch cuts it short. No, I don't know. The witch is taking us to Alfheim, and she mentions that the world serpent in the lake, that's the serpent that we saw, that giant serpent that made the lake more shallow, Thor never defeated it, and now the serpent spans all of Midgard. I love these references to these moments in Norse mythology that are more popularly known. She pretty much says that they are sworn enemies, Thor and this world serpent, that will fight at Ragnarok. How does she know?
That's what I'm saying.
How does she know?
Who is she?
Does she see the future? Like, is sketch? Atreus asks if Ragnarok is real, and the witch says she wishes it wasn't. Now, Atreus says that he can kind of speak to the serpent. If Harry Potter taught us anything.
Oh, shit.
Warning.
Oh, shit. I didn't even think about that. Oh, my God. Atreus can talk to snakes. Uh-oh. He's Voldemort.
Yes. Now, apparently, the language of the serpent is a dead tongue of language, long forgotten. How can Atreus speak? Did Atreus, is this something inherent in him? Or did Faye maybe know how to speak to serpent? I don't know. Just very interesting. Now, the witch has a bow with a light of Alfheim from the elves, and it creates blue bridges. And Atreus mentions the just creates blue bridges.
I always feel bad. How do I properly explain what it is. It's like a
No, but it's
an
like
airy bridge.
an aura.
It is blue. Yes, it's an aura. Okay.
Yeah, a aura bridge. That's
Yes.
blue. Now, Atreus also mentions Vanir gods and that the good guys are compared to Odin and Thor. So I don't know what this information means at this point, because I'm saying if Odin is a good god, which
But
from
they're
what
saying he's
I
a bad
thought,
god.
well, oh yes, but from what we commonly look at, Thor,
yes.
you know, like
Yes.
that type of Odin's to be good, right? So,
Right.
I mean, yeah, Odin might have sent people to kill Kratos, but understandably, Kratos did kill all of Greek mythology gods. So I'm just more interested to learn because I didn't know of this badness that's in Odin and Thor.
Yeah, I was confused that like Odin and Thor are considered bad gods in this realm, and then they're the
Yeah.
Vanir gods who are good gods. But who are they? Because we haven't seen any of them yet either.
I don't know. But we do know that Kratos has an opinion about this.
Oh,
Kratos
yeah.
says that there are no good gods. I thought I taught you that.
Yeah,
So
well,
he's
I
very
mean, you
much
kill all
against-
of them, so
I mean, yeah, but also that's just reflective of who Kratos is himself. Kratos is technically the god of war,
he is.
right? So how Kratos sees himself, maybe? Now, the witch gets Kratos to move the giant golden bridge, which changes the path to the doors. And she uses the bow once more to get that blue aura bridge to get across. And she gives Atreus the power of the bow. Upgrade. But sketchy. Just giving away powers like this.
That's what I'm saying. It's super, like, she's just being so nice to them.
She also mentions she's being nice to them, but also says, I could be nice to you up until a point. I can't follow you on this journey. So she can't go with us because measures were taken against her. That means she can't leave Midgar. She's in prison, pretty much. That's what this means. She's in prison. Who put her in prison? Why is she in prison? These are details we need to know. The gods don't really care for her much, is what she says. Which gods? Is it Odin and Thor who are thought to be the bad gods? Because that means she may be a good person or a good witch. Or is it the Vanir gods?
That's a good point.
Because if they're good, then that means she's not good, right?
Or is,
Right?
is she working for Odin? I just unlocked something for me.
Oh, you think she's working for Odin?
Well, now you just made me think that could be possible.
Maybe. I mean, if she's working for Odin, why doesn't she just kill us? Like, I mean, she has it. It's obvious
Because
she has
needs
the
something
power.
from us. Come on.
Oh, okay. Now we enter the realm to the travel room.
It's really confusing. Lots of stuff
It's
going
very
on, by the way.
confusing. Hopefully you're following along. We get to the great world tree that makes travel between the realms possible. We need a Bifrost to travel between realms, and she explains.
What now?
Give it a moment. The temple needs time to wake up from its long slumber. It is from this room, and this room alone, that you will be able to cross between realms. What you see before you represents the temple in which we stand, as well as the realm towers that encircle the Lake of Nine outside. All the realms exist in the same physical space, reflections of each other. These doors, the towers outside, and the 9 realms are all intertwined and coexisting on the branches of the world tree, separated only by the Bifrost light of Alfheim. This place can focus and control that light.
And is this the world tree?
Only an artistic representation of it. No, the Yggdrasil is much, much more than this. The Tree of Life is bound to the fate of the world, just as we are bound to it. The tree nourishes our soils. The dew from its leaves feeds our valleys and rivers. The tree's very existence supports all of creation along its boughs. Its life energy interwoven into the tapestry of life. Birth, growth, death, and rebirth. Every strand transcending time, transcending space. Everything comes back to the tree.
Did you get all that? That's a lot. We got schooled just now.
You thought our explanations were a lot. That's even more confusing.
That is very confusing. But pretty much, The wheel inside turns the bridge as you go to Alfheim, and once it works, the witch tells us, like, we need the light of Alfheim, or else we're trapped here in our next destination. Now, as we enter the new area...
Welcome to Alfheim, gentlemen. Think you can spot the light? I can barely see it. Something's wrong. See that column of light on the horizon? It's housed in the heart of a ring temple. We'll find what we need there. No. Damn it, not yet.
What's happening?
To restore the Bifrost magic, you must step into the light. But be very careful not to get
No! She's not dead. Is she?
Not likely. Come.
I love how Kratos is like, she should have died from that. Like, I feel like he was thinking that based on that. Now, the witch says that the light of Alfheim is very dim, and she starts to disappear and doesn't tell us everything we need to hear, but that we need to step in the light. This is a huge, I don't trust her moment, just because, like, based on what she said, how the gods don't favor her, she doesn't specify which gods, and she just kind of does what witches do and, like, crumbles and, like, disappears because in pain when good stuff hits them. It just seems like she may be a little sinister.
She also explains so much information about the tree, the time, switching to different realms, doing this, boom, 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 boom. And now you got to get the Bifrost, and then the Bifrost will get you the light, and then the light will do this to get you through the Black Breath. And there's so much steps and information. Why is she giving us all of this? And also, why is there all this information too? And also, why is the Black Breath there on the mountain? Or is something preventing us to get up there? Did the witch set that up so that we could get the light for her, so that she could go up the mountain? I don't know.
Questions that need answers, but we're not going to get them yet because after the break, we're going to give our thoughts on these two chapters.
You rush around like that everywhere? Yeesh. Catch! The pile of rocks there? With that key of Yggdrasil, you can open a magic door to the branches of the World Tree. A shortcut between the realms. If you ever see him out in the world, use it to get back to me quick. But it's only one way. Straight back here and nowhere else. And whatever you do, never, ever throw yourself over the edge of the path, lest you want death.
Yeah, I don't see us wanting that.
Now you're talking.
Never, ever throw yourself into the path. Now, Brock helps us quite a bit in these two chapters. We're able to buy and upgrade our gear in a pinch. And it's like, I guess I understand why Brock's doing this, because we learned from Sindri that there was this relationship that they had with Faye, that they really do trust Faye, right?
I highlighted this specifically because it makes me understand maybe how the dwarves are moving around so quickly using this magic, which is also pretty cool. And also, if you need armor, you can just use that and go back. However, I don't think you can travel back to the place that you came. Is that correct?
I'm not good with time travel or portal travel, because this isn't necessarily time travel, it's portal travel. But yeah, it seems like you can't go back the way you came. But, you know, is the witch using this as well? Because she just popped out of nowhere in chapter 3.
She did. Well, I don't know. Yeah. How does she, like, why is she always following us too?
Yeah. And then, you know, Sindri does say, well, you know, they mention that Sindri was at the bottom of the hill before they got up here to this point, but the witch was like, the witch says no one was there at the bottom of the hill.
Ooh, that's what I wanted to point out.
Who's lying? Who's lying?
This is why I feel like time travel is involved in some way. Because how the heck was Sindri there and then Sindri's not there? And then the tower is older, but it maybe wasn't before, where there was vines on top? I don't know.
I feel like this is our third game where we're talking about time travel. We really love time travel here. Apparently.
No, we don't love time travel. It's just it's used as a
everyone else loves it.
Every if you want to solve some plot points, just use time travel. That'll just help everything. And then convolute everything too.
Now, you have to use your axe not just for battle, but you have to use it to solve puzzles, cut down bridges, freeze things, lower drawbridges. It becomes very useful. For Atreus, that function, you have to use Kratos and Atreus to climb up cliffs. Atreus climbing up things to get things for you. And what are your thoughts of like that tag team component that they're trying to introduce here? Does it work well?
Yeah, I really like it. I won the axe. I love the mechanics of the axe. Being able to throw it as like a boomerang, stuff like that. Like it's really fun. We're unlocking as we go different move sets as well. And I like the aspect that you can kind of change what move sets you want and don't want to use. What works well the best for you. You want more ranged attacks. You want more melee. You can also upgrade melee and ranged as well. And then, yeah, for Atreus and Kratos, I do like that there's an element that you can use Atreus. Although he's not like we're not really using him as a main character. He can shoot his bow to kind of like stun enemies and also almost kill them as well. And then on top of that, like if there's a high area, you can boost him up to get somewhere. He unlocks it and then you get through somewhere. I really like that aspect that they're able to use both characters and he's just not there whining all the time. He actually has a utility.
I know. It'd be cool if you could throw Atreus off cliff when he's whining all the time, though. That'd be nice. I'm kidding. Do not.
No, I think
Cam
hates children. That's what we've.
No, I like children. They're cool. Atreus, not so much. You can also unlock rune attacks that you could learn throughout the game, and they have all different movesets and effects. There's masks. You can unlock Nornir chest that gives you horn of blood mead, which
in this chapter
would not be drinking that.
The runic attacks. There's one that like you can heal a little bit at a time.
Yes,
I like using that as well because I feel like your HP bar is not as good at this point, and any kind of health that you can get that's not just from items helps a long way.
Yeah, it goes a long way. I don't use it that much, Nick. I'm just saying.
That's fine. You're a pro.
But there's also these. No, I'm kidding. I use it, but just not too much yet. Now, cool wooden drawers are also here that you could open up to show cool medieval looking drawings. So there's that.
Yeah,
there's a lot that we're finding so early on in the game. I feel like we're only at chapter 3. I'm loving it so far. I feel like it's not at a place where it feels overbearing with everything that we're unlocking. It feels like it's well paced, and I personally cannot wait to continue. Anything else, Nick, that I'm missing?
I was just gonna say, like, it's not necessarily an open world. It's pretty closed off. However, there's a lot that you can do around here. There's a lot to unlock. You don't have to go straight for the main missions. You can do all these side things. There's not many side quests per se at this point in the game, but there are a lot to unlock and look at every crevice around the way, and it's a lot of fun. Again, it's not open world, but I kind of like that. And then, but there's still a lot to do at the same time.
Well, I like it too, Nick, and there is a lot to do, and we have a lot of ground to cover as we continue our journey through God of War 2018. We are going off into Chapter 4, but that would be on the next episode of AutoSave, so stay tuned.